They're probably metal and all.
No, plastic, just plastic and fresh.
I was expecting one of those lovely sets with bits in. No, just box of dice.
Ordinary dice. Yeah.
He does that too. Massive bag of dice.
This is handy for the rolling things as well.
Do you want to hear the worst thing about this? I sort my dice. Literally, all 7 of a particular colour or type, always in the same bag every time.
Gold to the stream.
It's amazing, Stream. I've got OCD, Stream. There we go.
Hi everyone, welcome to the 121st hour
121st hour.
of Adventures Wanted.
Mm.
We get that to the halfway mark today. Just a reminder, this is a relaxed performance. All of our performances are relaxed performances. That means there won't be any sudden loud noises. If you need to hop out to the bathroom or anything and come back in during the hour, you're absolutely free to. There's a relaxed attitude to sound and movement from the audience, which is basically for the benefit of people who would struggle being still and silent for an hour. And the lights will generally stay up. We are having a bit of a glitch with some of the hotel lights, but if they go down, then I will put them back on within 10 seconds. It'll be very brief. Other than that, my name's Chloe. I'm the stage manager. If you need anything, just give me a shout. I'll pass you over to Alex, our games master for the hour.
Hello. Yes, welcome. I am Alex. I am the games master. What is this? What's going on? What's happening? Well,
we are writing a character you're about to watch as we speak. That's what's happening.
welcome. We are Adventurers Wanted. For those of you who don't know or for whom this is new, we are a tabletop role-playing game. That means that each person here sat around beside me, apart from Chloe, is playing their own unique character. I, as the games master, will play the rest of the world. I will describe the places, the people, and the things that they encounter. I will tell them things that happen or things that are occurring around them, and they'll tell me things that they would like to do or how they would like to interact with those things. Sometimes I will ask them to roll the dice. And their success or failure on those dice rolls will determine whether they succeed gloriously or fail hilariously and dismally, usually.
I died yesterday. That's how badly I failed yesterday.
Yeah, for the second time.
For the second time in this entire show. Also, the only person apart from one who's died in this stream, is that right? Yeah.
I can't remember. The story so far. All of our characters are crew members aboard a naval research vessel known as the Spirit of the Horizon. On a recent mission, it was unexpectedly and magically transported to a completely new and unknown land. Now the crew have to figure out how to get home, whether that be by fighting monsters, exploring islands, finding allies, or by some other means. Most recently, whilst attempting to destroy a lich on a random remote island, which did not go well, and the party did not cover themselves in glory.
4 hours of not taking a single hit point off it. It was amazing.
They ran into an ally, and I would say an old ally, but they've only been on the planet or this world for about 3 weeks. So an old ally, a Vosu, a fox humanoid by the name of Candle, who leapt in to help them and basically finished the monster off single-handedly. She offered them a suggestion. She asked for their help. She explained that the city that she's from, by the name of Clathid, was having a problem, and that the players and the people on board the ship would be perfectly suited to come up and help them. She suggested that they go back to the ship and deal with their dead and meet her nearby, one of the major island cities, in 2 days' time. That's where we're going to pick up the story, back on the island. Before we do that, I'm going to ask the people sat around me to tell us their name, the name of their character, what their character is, and something about their character, a reason why people on board the ship would know who their character is.
Well, no one knows who I am yet because I'm fresh. I'm Chris. Hello. My character is called Sanguine. He is a tiefling warlock who's been imprisoned in a gem on board this entire time and is about to break free. Luckily, he's a moron, so he will achieve absolutely nothing with that dark opening and beginning.
Wonderful.
Well, hi, I'm Robert. I'm playing a half half-elf ranger called Varhiel, who's just sort of appeared out of nowhere and just being amused at what the hell's going on. Because kind of work at the stats still. But I was supposed to be doing the next one, but I've come in an hour early.
Imagine a character being sketched out live as you watch him appear. Is he strong? Is he weak? Oh, it's still being done.
Okay, so I basically appear in the middle of nowhere, munching a roll, and wondering, what the hell am I doing here?
Cool.
I wasn't supposed to be on duty for another hour.
Life reflects art.
So the ship, the Spirit of the Horizon, finds itself docked
Okay, Longbow's fine, yeah.
back in a small city known as Lunes. It's part of 3 cities that make up a caldera. They've been here a few times. They are on good terms with the Queen, who runs this city. In fact, they have some unfinished business with the Queen. The captain, a barbarian by the name of Golan Height, is off negotiating with the Queen and discussing how they can get their gunpowder supplies restocked. Sanguine, explain to me how you suddenly come into being, how you appear.
I'm not getting teleported in.
To what?
To nothing. The ship isn't. Can the ship teleport me out?
Sure. You appear in the throne room next to Golan.
Awesome. So, just to set the scene for you perfectly, I am 7 foot tall. I look a bit like the demon from, what's it called, Dungeon thing with the big red horns and everything, red chest. I don't wear a shirt. I have the little pants on. I turn up, bang in the middle of the throne room. At this point, I've been locked in a gem for 3,000 years, and I am pissed off. I am not happy. So I appear with a free. Where am I? What's going on? Who are you?
Who am I? Well,
I think I'm pointing at Golan. Who are you?
where did he come from?
What's going on?
Golan is incredibly surprised to see you. He says, Golan's been fighting a lot of undead recently. So the appearance of a demon in the throne room is not necessarily going to go well.
Sweet, let's do it.
I think he's probably going to drop into his battle mode.
Do it.
And he's going to answer your question, though. He's going to be like, what are you? How did you get in? Why are you? How did you teleport here? Answer quickly or I will hit you with my maul.
In my hand, I summon my gigantic greatsword and go, you hit me and I'll hit you, buddy. I don't know where I am or how I got here. I was in a gem for a really long time. That's all I've got. Do I smell the sea?
Roll persuasion.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm good at persuading. That's a 16.
He just looks at you. You can see him trying to work things out. What's confused him is that you've arrived swirled in this golden teleportation energy, which he recognises as being part of the ship, a thing that causes people on board the ship to appear. In fact, at that very moment, Varhiel, you find yourself on board the ship, and then you look down and you are surrounded in this strange golden arcanic energy. There is a tang of metal in your mouth, and you disappear from the ship, and you find yourself stood in this large throne room. In front of you is a large white stone throne in which sits this very tall, very haughty-looking woman wearing thin wisps of silk. And next to you, the captain, who you've had occasion to bump into on board ship, a human barbarian, is basically facing off against a devil thing. And they are
Big old horns, dreadlocks.
They are having a
shirt.
conversation. It's like a conversation. I think is the strongest possible way you could describe it.
All right, so I haven't actually seen this devil creature before, but I know the captain, so it's just wondering what the heck's going on here, and just take my cue from the captain to see how this is going to go down. So
Do I realise I'm
so
outnumbered?
I'm just fingering my weapons, adjusting my uniform, and just waiting for events to happen.
Roll a perception check.
Perception?
Yes.
Can it be an intelligence check?
Roll a perception check.
Okay. That is 6.
You look around the room and you see it's a throne room. It's got guards, definitely outnumbered.
I do like playing against the odds.
There are maybe 4 guards in this room, plus the captain, plus your new friend.
Sword goes away. Raise my hands and go, okay. This has clearly not started well. Hello. I'm Sanguine. It's nice to meet you. I'm part of your crew. I have been this entire time. You didn't know that because I was hidden away, but I'm here to help. I am trying to deceive you.
Roll deception.
17.
He believes you.
Yes!
At this point, so many characters have appeared out of nowhere beside him to help that he is willing to believe anyone who says, "I'm here to help you."
Excellent.
And he sort of looks across, and it's not you're not the first tiefling that has appeared on board his ship or claimed to be a member of his ship, but you are in a minority. You're not.
I'm also like as far removed from human as you could possibly get. Like there's maybe a 24th human in there somewhere.
Right. He looks at you and he sort of just says, "Yes. Oh, right. Okay. Well, it's great to have you with us."
I will help you in all your endeavors. I guarantee I will not cause more chaos and disruption to your life. I'm trying to deceive them again.
Oh, roll deception. At this point, it looks like there's not going to be a battle.
Oh, he'll breathe a sigh of relief.
That's an 18. Plus 8 to deception. He's a sneaky man.
He raises an eyebrow,
Oh.
as if to be like, 7 foot tall, tiefling, dreadlocks, horns,
No shit.
and he's saying he's not going to cause trouble. Sort of noted, taking that under advisement.
Captain, do you have a bodyguard?
Yes, I do,
Suppose that would
actually.
be me.
Who, is that your bodyguard? This puny little half-elf wisp of a man?
I have my abilities.
The captain has recently been, he has recently gained a pet, I guess, a griffin, baby griffin by the name of Chauncey, which he has been slowly learning from and training. It's more than likely, he's recently started to become a bit of a ranger himself. It's more than likely that he has been talking to Vahil about what that entails, how he can become a ranger. And he sort of looks towards you and goes, "Oh, thank God, Vahil, I didn't spot you there. I was far too busy dealing with this member of our crew."
Hello.
Greetings.
We've not met.
No, we haven't.
You are short.
It happens, but I'm not a halfling.
True, you are not the shortest person I have met, but you are shorter than me, and that is short.
I would disagree with that.
At this point, in the corner of the room, you hear a "If you are quite finished." And you look over and you see Queen, whose name you wouldn't know, but you would know as Queen Abilzim. She is the Queen of Lunes. And she looks down towards the captain and she says, "We were discussing what happened on the other island." And the captain turns back and says, "Oh, yes, yes, very sorry. Yes, you wanted to expand there. My suggestion is maybe hold off on that for a while. We went, we had a good look, full of dinosaurs. absolutely full of dinosaurs from here to eternity. Dinosaurs. With magic. Most of them have magic.
Can I roll an intelligence check to know what dinosaurs are?
Yes.
5. I nod. Yeah. Yeah.
I think dragons.
There were dragons?
Oh, yes, also there was a dragon. Big.
Can we go back to this island? This sounds like fun!
It wasn't.
Oh.
It was dangerous, perilous. Everybody almost died.
That sounds like fun.
And then at the end of it, we got kidnapped. And again, we were nearly all forced into a breeding program by. It was awful. You didn't want to be there.
Nothing you have said is a negative.
Yes, well.
On the whole, I'm glad I missed that one.
This bodyguard of yours is puny.
Well, I don't like fighting directly. I prefer shooting at people.
That is.
And he is also a coward, clearly.
Better a live coward than a dead hero.
Yeah. 2 dead characters, you are not wrong.
The Queen nods and sort of says, yes. Well, I mean, that does explain why we lost so many settlers and why we've heard so little from the island since we sent people out there. Perhaps we should look further afield to safer shores and spend a little bit more time investigating the other islands nearby rather than throwing money at a bad idea.
Or you could train the magic dinosaurs to be your pets. This is out of the box thinking.
It's not a bad idea, actually.
She looks across to you and she sort of says, is that an offer?
To train magic whatever the hell's? Why not? That sounds like fun.
Good to know. Perhaps in a few days' time, you can return to us and we can send you off to what was the name of the island? Nublar, yes. Of course, we must pay you our thanks for what you have achieved. Even though our plans must be put on hold, nevertheless, you should be rewarded for your loyalty and devotion to the cause. I have been speaking with my sister and our cousin, and we have taken what you gave us, and Elowen has finished making your gunpowder. You have many barrels of it. It's quite dangerous, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. The sooner it is gone from our shores, the happier we would be. I do not like having large quantities of any kind of dangerous material stored within our warehouses. Send some men down to the nearby warehouse and collect it. That is all. Thank you. For now, I thank you, and all of my sisters and cousins thank you for your help on the Thundercrest Island. And the captain sort of nods and says, well, I'm sure we will meet again.
I go for a deep, deep bow and say, Your Majesty, you are too kind, too effervescent, too delightful to even consider the thought of anything we do for you being a hardship. I go for a kiss on the hand.
Okay. Are you being sincere?
No.
Roll deception.
It's a +8. 24.
Hold caller. Sorry.
That's all right.
I don't have her stats immediately to hand, surprisingly.
Didn't think she'd be attacked, did you? It's not attack.
Well, she's rolled a natural 17, so
24 to beat.
let's find out how smart she is. Oh, come on. Varhil, whilst you're watching this go on, how are you? What are you doing? What are you?
I'm just sitting in the background observing. I'm curious to know what's going to happen next with this guy. Just what is he?
Apparently chaos.
I'd expect nothing less. She rolls a 23. She puts her hand out, but it's like the limpest, wettest fish that you have ever had.
Can I roll a charisma check for the kiss on the hand? How good it is?
Yeah.
That's a 10. Not right.
It's wet.
Shame. Shame.
And she, as you sort of go in for this like fawning, like, you can feel her pulling her hand away, in that
Sure.
kind of.
Let it go and go. Next time. Wink. What are you looking at? Walk out.
At that point, the captain turns on his heel, looks at both of you, and says, "Well, our work here is done. It's good to know that we have our gunpowder back on the ship finally. God, we've been trying to get that for almost a week now.
Yes, it is.
People keep forgetting about it. Just as well I remembered."
Well, it's your job, sir.
Out of
It's the
character,
captain's
that's you?
job.
And he says, "Right, well, I'm going to head back to the ship, find some people, get this stuff stocked into the hold. I hesitate to use the word date, for fear that it might be misinterpreted.
We have a date. Excellent.
We
Is it
have
a group date?
we have a rendezvous.
Even better.
I'm not sure you're thinking about what the rest of us are thinking here.
Probably not.
At this point, he sort of says, "How much do you know of what's been going on recently?"
Absolutely nothing.
Wonderful. And you?
A little, Captain, but I haven't been paying much attention to what's been happening off ship.
Right. Good. Well, yes. Our I think friend. Hard to tell. She's been helpful, but also she's a bit spiky. Yeah. Anyway, Candle, our friend. We have a rendezvous with her. She asked us to meet her at the docks in the city, which is convenient because that's where the ship is. And she would like to meet with a small number of the party, and I believe she has some kind of task, mission, maybe? It's not clear. I'm getting the information secondhand myself.
So we have to go and find out what's happening.
Captain, I will gladly assist you in this. But to be honest, I don't have a rank on board ship, so you can't order me around. Maybe if you gave me a rank on board ship, I could take orders from you.
And he thinks, and he says,
Are you sure you don't need a bodyguard?
There is a position that's recently become available.
Good.
We are looking for our head cleaner.
I accept the role of head cleaner.
It's good. There are a few people above you. You're gonna love your boss.
Excellent. I look forward to meeting her.
Him.
Him.
He's a
How very gender normative.
halfling.
The person in charge of me is a halfling.
I'm trying to not to laugh at this point.
If you are unhappy serving underneath
No.
Galbert Twinkletoes,
It's fine. I look forward to working with him. It's going to be fun.
good.
Excellent.
I'm glad you agree. The captain makes his way down through the city. You follow behind him, and then
Muttering as he goes. Start at the bottom. Start at the bottom.
Well, everyone's got to start somewhere.
exactly, and yeah,
How else do you rule the world? Starting at the damn bottom. That's where.
as you reach the dock area, the captain breaks off and he makes his way towards where the ship is moored, tied up in the bay, and you look around and you see Dockland. You look across and you see that there is a small tavern on the edge.
A tavern. All good missions start in a tavern. I think we should go there. What do you think?
Why not? Why
puny
not?
half-elf.
Why not?
Excellent.
I could do with a drink.
Me too at the moment, but yes, let's go.
Sample the local booze. See what they drink around here.
Can we go to the tavern, please?
You can indeed. As you walk towards it, you see that this tavern is known as the Grumpy Sariki.
Fitting.
You make your way inside. It's pretty homespun. It's pretty rough. It's obvious that this is a port tavern. This is where
Lovely.
the sailors and the merchants whose ships dock here. This is where they drink. It's about midday, and it's already pretty full. There's a lot of people in here. Day, night, drinking seems to be a thing. And
I kick the door down, not in, open, and say, "Everybody who wants a drink, everything's on him." He just won a lot of money in a sporting event, and now is happy to buy everyone a drink, aren't you?
Well, once I get paid, yes.
you've been drawing a salary on board the ship.
Yes, how much is this going to cost me?
How much is it going to cost him?
You look around the room. Roll perception checks.
That's a natural 1, sir.
Perception my stats here. Where we are.
You kick the door open.
Yes.
It reaches the end of its hinges.
Yes.
It bounces back, hits you in the face.
Who wants a... Oh!
3 points of bludgeoning damage.
It's broken my nose. It's not the first time that nose has been broken.
So
though,
most
Well, it's the first time I've actually seen someone get in a fight with a door before it starts.
Are you sure, D&D player? Are you sure it's the first time you met someone get in a fight with a door?
Well, usually I manage to kick them. They don't have anything competent enough to kick the door, kick the door down in the first place.
inside, you reckon that it's hidden in the darkness. Oh, you rolled a 2.
Yes. Well,
So you rolled a 1, you rolled a 2. You are both now looking at the door.
Hit him in the face.
a very
as well.
tough door.
Nope. Hit you in the face. He was just out.
Oh, so I'm on the inside of the hinge, so it hit me and you just went, oh, door.
Yeah, you kicked and stepped forward at the same, and then back into the nose. You push the door open for the second time. This time, like
Slightly
a normal
more
person.
slowly.
And you see inside that there are 6 customers, maybe, and a member of staff pouring drinks. Everybody looks. A couple of them look happy, but there's a few, salty whatevers sat by the bar, nursing drinks, staring into the depths of it.
Is there a fireplace?
Of course.
Is it lit?
At this point in time, no. But
Now it is.
But you do see a small, younger member of the family rushing backwards and forwards in the process of laying the fire.
Well, an instantaneous bonfire, boom, bursts out as I walk in.
Well, at least he's putting use of the fire lighter.
She squeals and she rushes away and she sort of dashes to the corner and she looks around to see what could possibly have caused that. And she runs over to where her mother is tending the bar and she's like, "Mama, there's magic around." And she sort of looks around, looks at the thing and says, looks at the fire and says, "Oh, don't be silly, dear. Just, how about, well, have you washed all of the mugs from last night?" Oh, no. You see her disappear into the back room. At this point, she clocks the two of you, and mostly she clocks you.
Using a bit of thaumaturgy, make my hair fly back a little bit, just kind of windswept. Ah, hero standing in bar.
She runs. She runs
This is
into
not getting us any good service, is it?
into the back room. Yeah,
Can I
they
roll?
have not seen anything like you on this world. They certainly haven't seen anything like you in this bar.
Can I roll a persuasion check, please?
Yes.
While I talk. That's a 16. Madam, do not be afraid. I am not your worst nightmare. I am your best customer. Now get everyone here your darkest, filthiest drink. At least one of them, maybe two. It's early.
She sort of stops on the threshold and is trying to decide between fleeing for her life versus a sale.
Yeah.
And the sale wins. She turns. Roll perception.
Perception. That's a critical success, my friend.
You see that she has this broad smile on her face, and she sort of says, "Oh, wonderful! Welcome to the Grumpy Sariki. It's a pleasure to have you." And then she clocks you, and she's sort of, she's not seen
Well, I'm just a half elf.
this land.
Not exactly. Not usual. Not that unusual. in
This
our
world that you are in, so far in your dealings with the world, you have met no dwarves, no elves, no orcs, no goblins, no humans, none of these classic standard races that you would expect. Everything in this world is sort of humanoid versions of animals. And in fact, at this point, as you look across, you see that the woman running the bar, she's short, and she looks sort of like a dwarf, except that her skin is pale and has these colourful scales on it. From your time on the world, you would know that these would be the Sariki.
Hence the name of the bar, I think.
Potentially. She looks, yeah, you can see beneath the veneer of happiness and joy that she is scared. But she's
Wants the sale.
smiling through it.
She wants the money. Gotcha.
And she comes over and says to you, well, of course, what would you, what can I get you fine fellows?
Gentlemen, but we'll go with it.
Okay.
Top shelf. Whatever's up there. At least one for everybody.
Well, I will say to her, well, being strangers to this establishment and this world, not sure exactly what you drink around here. So could you recommend something that you enjoy?
Oh, absolutely. I recommend. I mean, the top shelf is the fire brandy, but my
This
recommendation.
sounds exactly like my cup of tea.
My recommendation
Brandy.
would be
Yes.
the Merchant's Lucky Day.
That's just lucky day.
Yes,
Is that good or bad?
it's absolutely wonderful. It's if I were going to give it drink notes, I would say
Written drink notes.
it tastes coppery, a little bit like like you've been licking a lucky coin.
Genuinely written it.
Would this be? I think it
Thank
would
you.
start with something very ordinary.
Very ordinary.
I mean, we have in our world something called beer. I would like something similar, with something that your average person would drink.
We have a butter beer.
Seems like a waste of butter, really. But
Go on, puny. You have your butter beer. I'm going for this fire brandy and one of those things as well.
I could probably work up to something
The
more
Merchant's
powerful
Lucky Day?
later.
I'm trying both.
Okay.
All. Can I mix them together?
You can, but you might not want to.
We'll start with one, move to the other, see what happens. I mean, come on, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Now's the time to start.
Var, it's midday.
I'm still in
It's midday. Now's the time to start.
I've specifically told you what time of day it is.
So it's past the yardarm. It's perfect.
I'm thinking, well, I'm still on duty here, aren't I? I could get in trouble.
She, having offered you one of her best beers and had it turned down, and then one of her more normal beers and had you turn your nose up at it, you watch as
I will try it, I think.
she walks slowly down right to the very end of the bar. And there, in the corner, in the dark, covered in some dust, is this small barrel. And you just see her turn the tap, and out of it pours this... I mean, the only way you could describe it is brown. This brown, slightly frothy liquid. And she turns
Looks
the
like beer
tap,
to me.
brings it over, and she's sort of... I think this might be what you're after?
It looks possible.
I'm
Okay,
writing down the only way you can describe it is brown. That's my favourite question.
I give it a try.
You give it a try. It's tangy. It's musty. But it's definitely beer. It's just... It's not good beer.
Not good beer.
Um,
It's drinkable.
Yeah, it's not... You wouldn't want to go out on a night out with it.
On a scale of 1 to beer, is it not quite beer?
It's once was beer.
It once was beer.
She off the top shelf, she pours this down this very ornate glass bottle, and she pours out a small tumbler of this bright orange clear liquid, and
Everything
she
about
sort of
this is good.
pushes it across the bar counter to you and says, "Oh, that's the fire brandy." And then she looks at you, and as if she was going to say, "Be careful, it's powerful." Then she spots you, and she's sort of like,
I'm just waiting for the explosion.
"I think you'll enjoy it." And then she goes to another tap nearby, and
In the meantime, boom, it's gone. What am I rolling?
roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Splendid. Splendid. Am I good at those? Please, God, tell me I'm good at those. I'm good at those. 19.
It makes its way down your throat, hits your stomach. It is hot. Hot, 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 hot.
Good.
Hot, hot, hot like home.
Yes.
You feel a sense that you might want to belch,
Oh, good.
but at the moment you are controlling your...
Can I do a fiery belch, please?
At what?
Oh, nothing, just in the air.
Just into the air.
Like one of those, like, oh.
You can choose to fail your Constitution saving throw, yes.
When you say a fiery belch, how fire are we talking?
You don't know.
I think there's been enough chaos for one morning, GM. I think I'll swallow that. I'll have that burn my esophagus instead.
And she looks at you and she's sort of like, she's never seen anyone drink an entire mug full of it in one go before.
That'll put hairs on your chest. Well, more hairs on your chest.
Yes. If you're not careful, you might lose quite a lot of hairs everywhere. But you seem good. And she's just sort of, while she's pouring, she's keeping a very close eye on you. She's waiting for the...
I give her a smile, a wink, and any kind of charisma check there to make her think I'm awesome.
She was okay.
What am I rolling against? What am I rolling for?
I don't know, you're just to be charismatic, I guess.
Correct.
Just a straight charisma check. Natural 20. Yeah, she's sold on this. She hasn't seen the colour of your coin yet, but she's
I
enjoying.
don't carry any coin.
It's keeping her entertained on this crazy morning. She brings over to you this mug of this coppery beer. Puts it down in front of you. It's a simmering brown with tiny golden flecks swirling throughout it.
Boom, down in one.
Wonderful. It tastes almost like copper, like you've been licking coins or pipes all day long.
Like home.
The metallic aftertaste slowly begins to dissipate the more you drink of it, but you drink it in one go. And actually, it tastes quite nice. You feel lucky.
How lucky.
You feel like well, you feel like if you wanted to search for money or things like that, you would have an increased chance of finding it.
Interesting.
It is the merchant's lucky day, after all.
Awesome.
At this
We'll save
point,
that.
at this point behind you, sat in the corner of the room wearing a dark grey cowl, there is another cough. This time a little more petulant, a little less willing to wait. And she sort of says, you hear this voice, "Are you what they've sent?"
I'm afraid
What?
so.
What? Who? Where?
I think it's the person we've got to talk to.
Oh, how fortuitous. I didn't know she'd be in this tavern.
I followed you in.
Ah.
I've been watching your interaction. This is going to be a tough day. But only two of you. Well, it'll do for now.
I genuflect, go for the hand, and say, "Madam, we're all you need."
Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Oh, what disadvantage? Because she's smart.
'Cause she's smart and she doesn't like people at all. Any people.
That's a 14 at disadvantage.
Natural 18.
Balls.
She does not put her hand out, but she watches you
I
get
still
down
do
on
the
your
bow.
knee and bow, and she just sort of sighs wearily, turns on her heels, and stalks out of the bar. And as she gets to the doorway, she turns, looks back, and says, "Well, come on then."
Of course. So we just drop in, follow her.
You drop in behind her, and she leads you out from the tavern towards the corner of the dockyard. As you're walking along, you notice that there are small warehouses, other areas where people store things. And you get closer and closer, and then suddenly she sort of darts down a side alleyway and in through a side door, and you find yourself just stood in the middle of just a normal warehouse.
Can I have been doing a perception check for money-related things, going in this area where people might leave coins lying around?
Roll an investigation check.
Oh, that's a 6.
I want to have a look around to see if anyone's watching us.
Oh.
I'll roll a 1.
If they are, you have no idea.
There's a cat watching.
One person is watching you. Even you are aware of this, and that is the pair of eyes of a very grumpy Sariki woman stood in the doorway of her tavern,
Oops.
where you just drank her drinks and left without paying. And as you turn around, you see her small daughter is tasked to run out, and she runs towards the ship. You're pretty certain that she's going to go and ask for payment for the drinks that you drank from
Fair
the
enough.
captain.
Setting up a tab. Ideal.
Candle stands in the doorway, and she says, "Come on, quickly." You walk inside, and you see around the packing crates, and there's quite a lot in this particular warehouse. You make your way through, and then there, in the centre of this warehouse, you look down. Roll me perception checks. Thank you.
Better, 18.
5.
Vahil, you look down and you see what you're pretty sure is a teleportation circle. Which is strange, because you haven't seen any teleportation circles so far in your investigation of this world. Teleportation doesn't seem to be a big thing. Wizardly magic doesn't seem to be a particularly big thing. You put 2 and 2 together and you think, I think we're about to meet some wizards. She says, quickly, stand there. She points to the centre of the teleportation centre. So,
Where's this
I've
going
not
to-
seen the circles. What, here? Why?
no, there, in
Where?
the
They're about to
in
zap
the
us
circle.
away somewhere
What
else.
Oh, there's a circle on the floor.
Yes.
Is that a teleportation circle?
Roll insight.
Oh, my best skills. It's a 16.
You think it might be. You're not massively certain. I mean, you tend to sort of magically appear places through your sulfur and like you don't really use wizard magic.
No.
So you're not entirely certain. But nevertheless, you sort of make your way into it. You stand there. Candle walks into the centre of the circle. You see her drop her cowl down, look to the ground, and start to move her hands and mutter something low under her breath. And
Hold on to your hat, buddy. We're going somewhere.
Oh, well.
you
Here we go again.
feel a rush of magical energy. It's different to the golden magical energy that you felt before. This feels less powerful, but you feel like you're travelling quite a long way. But there is a rush of magical air around you, and you look up, and you find yourself outside. You are stood in a wide place. All around you, a place with a capital P rather than just a really vague description. A wide place. A wide plaza.
There we go.
All around you, you see there are more packing crates. And as you look around, roll perception checks for me, please.
20 now.
3.
As you look around,
I see a place, apparently.
you see more of these teleportation circles. And as you're looking, you see in here or there, like one off in the far distance, another one just off behind you to the right-hand side. You see boxes suddenly appear within them.
Very handy.
More crates. Roll me an insight check after you successfully rolled so well on perception.
That's 14.
You feel like you're in the middle of like this is a massive logistical exercise. This is how they're bringing stuff here. These teleportation circles are used to ferry all of the goods that they need for wherever you are onto the island, onto this place.
I can't
Very
spell
handy.
massive or logistical, so I am completely unaware of all of this.
1 second. In front of you. Sorry,
That's right.
it's just a lot. There's a lot going on here. In front of you, off to the right-hand side, you see a huge building. It looks like a Greek portico temple, similar to the Parthenon, except that as you stare at it, and with your very high perception, as you look at it, you see that the whole frontage of the building appears to be made of thick, billowing clouds. The weather when you left where you were was blue skies and small cotton wool balls of fluffy cloud. And as you look at these, you see that the columns of the building themselves appear to be made of a similar fluffy cotton wool
Very impressive.
clouds.
Are we in heaven?
Nope.
I am not a fan of heaven. Make that very clear. Don't fit in well.
Next to it stands something else. Next to it stands this another thing that looks incredibly like a temple. It grows out. It looks like it's almost growing out of the ground, and it's like a flower. And across it, you see the symbols of clockwork, like gears.
Do we know anything about the religions of this world? Or I was still trying to work it out.
You've met a few. It's reminiscent of the people that you met at a Clockwork City, known as Minara Jam, who were all bird people. And yeah, you've heard tales of this. You think this might be, this particular building might be dedicated to a goddess known as Ufravesi.
Whatever this place is, it must be a very important commercial centre.
At this,
Many
Hang on.
religions, transportation.
You said it looked like a flower. Like a big flower building or like a genuine flower?
like a building built in the shape of a blossoming flower.
Whoever they are very good at making buildings, because that sounds difficult.
Yeah. At this point, a large,
That's my contribution.
a medium-sized Maguru bustles up to you. The Maguru are the bird people. She sees Candle. She looks across at the two of you, confused,
Hello.
surprised, and says, "Oh, thank God. Are you here for the? Sorry, I'm incredibly overworked at the moment. Candle, just go and do what you need to do. I can take these people from here." And Candle sort of looks across at the Maguru a little begrudgingly, drops her head, and moves off away, disappearing into the distance. And at that
Feeling
point,
rather uncomfortable here.
we are going to end this hour.
Thank you for joining us. We are doing this from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day of the Fringe, apart from the 24th and 25th. We're also live streaming the whole thing on twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted, and we're live tweeting, and that's at Adventurers250. Chris, do you have anything else that you're working on at the Fringe that you'd like to plug right now?
you want to plug?
No, but the one thing I want to say is if anybody from Cape Outlet Scotland, Creamhill, are watching on Twitch at the moment, it says, "Hi guys."
Yeah, I'm a freelance theatre PR. I work on a bunch of stuff up here. Today, I am pitching a show called Not Lady Chatterley's Lover. It is Lady Chatterley's Lover, but it's a comic retelling of it. At one point, they run naked through the fields by wearing skin suits and having balloons in all the appropriate places. It's ridiculous, it's hilarious, it's brilliant. It's on at Sweet Grass Market, which is the one on the other side of town, and that's on at 6:30 over there. So a top recommendation for that. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
You're obviously more than welcome to come back and see where the adventure goes, or you can buy yourself a player ticket and we'll make up a character just for you. And that we've got a really quick turnaround to our next hour, so it's just like the way you came in. And thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks,
Have a lovely
guys.
day.
Thank you for joining us.
So I'm officially on for the next one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next two, actually.